What's going on, everybody? Good evening. Good evening. How are you guys? And if you're in another country, good morning or so. I don't know because it's it's different time zones, different people watching us at different times. We appreciate everybody in the chat. How you doing, everybody? We have a special episode again today. You requested it. You wanted it. We have Matt Karoly back again, people. He was amazing that first show, and you requested it. You definitely wanted him back, and he's here once again. So just want to go ahead and give him a hello. Hello. How are you today, Matt?
Doing well, Maggie. Thank you. It's good to be back with y'all. Enjoyed it a couple of weeks ago, and quite a bit's happened in Falcons land.
Yes.
So looking forward to getting into it with y'all.
Okay. And before we get into this, let's go ahead, in case no one know who we are. Let's get into the top. It's right above me. Who are we speaking to? Who is this in the top?
It's no by now. I'm just K-Styles.
That's K-Styles. And to his left.
Ooh, can you read? Can you read the what is that?
Well, you got wax.
Matt Ryan's lover.
Okay, the mad scientist, aka Mad Mike. Y'all already know who it is, man. Appreciate everybody for joining us. And the guy below, who are thy? Who are thee? Who be you?
Just Matt Karoly, Falcons free agent right now, formerly of Blog and Dirty, Rise Up Reader, Falcon Central Radio. Aaron Freeman, as everyone knows, is frenemy, best robbery going right now on Twitter. So, again, great to be here, guys. Let's get into it. What do we want to talk about first?
Let's see what we're talking about first, Mike. And then, of course, I'm Miss Maggie T, of course, if y'all know who I am. I am the operator of all of this, the head lady in charge, as always. But what are we talking about today? Since we're talking about Matt Ryan loving, want to start there?
I think that's a great place to start.
Hey, that's it. There's been a lot of controversy whether or not what exactly does this restructure means for Matt Ryan. For me personally, I have my own personal ideas, and I think most of the fans, the people of Atlanta Falcons Nation, they kind of know where I stand, where Maggie, myself, K-Styles, the crew of AFN, where we stand on the matter, but we don't know what Matt Karoly, where does Matt stand with this? What does this restructure mean to you?
I'm sure for those that know me already, they have a pretty good idea of where I stand, and it's on the same side as you guys. I mean, I think to do this move, to do the max restructure with Matt Ryan and move, $14 million of guaranteed money down the line, locking it in future cap years. To me, I don't see how you move on from him after next year, because that was the thought was, yeah, he's locked in this year, but 2022 is a little uncertain. To do this, I think it locks him in for 2022 as well now. Because again, I said this on Twitter last night. The only restructures they've done thus far is Jake Matthews to start. They did a max restructure for him. And then the second one was Matt Ryan. They could have done it for Grady Jarrett. They could have done it for Deion Jones, two younger players, two players that you think are going to be in Atlanta a lot longer than Matt Ryan. But they didn't. They did it to Matt Ryan. And I think that's very telling that they locked him in and they didn't do so with Grady Jarrett and Deion Jones when they could have saved the same amount of money by restructuring both of those guys that they did with Matt Ryan's deal. So all this talk, the report from The Athletic that Terry Fontenot had no choice. He did have a choice right now. He could have chose Grady Jarrett and Deion Jones first. And then if he needed to touch Matt Ryan, say they got a bigger fish in free agency, which they haven't thus far, then they could have looked to his deal. They didn't need to do it right now, but they did. And I think that's very telling. And I think it means they're going to build around Matt for a couple more years.
Definitely agree with that one.
Wow.
Nice.
Hey, but I want to make this clear, okay? Matt Karoly, I've been following him for a long time, okay? Matt Karoly are not best friends, okay? We talk on Twitter. I follow him on Twitter.
Maybe you to say that, guy.
This is not a case of me bringing in a guy and Matt, all right, we need you to, corroborate you need to go and corroborate my story. This is not the case. This is his own thoughts on what's going on. We had nothing to do with it. I am innocent, okay? I am innocent of all charges.
Yeah, again, if you've been following me long enough, kind of I've been on the timing of this, the economics of this. It doesn't make sense right now to move on from Matt in a year or two. I think you're going to see in Atlanta what you've seen in New Orleans and Pittsburgh, and they're going to let it ride out a little bit longer here with QB1, with number 2 leading the way. That's just my opinion. We'll see. I mean, smoke screen season is upon us or is approaching. So there's a lot of talk out there. And one of the suggestions is they did this too so that they kind of, camouflage what they want to do in the draft. And that's, again, that's what you're trying to do. You don't want to tip your hand at all on which way they're leaning in the draft and in free agency and all that. But yeah, I mean, by doing this restructure, if they were to move on from Matt Ryan after next year and it's not a post-June 1 cut, they would break the record that the Eagles just broke with Carson Wentz with most dead money for a single player. The Eagles are sitting on $33 million or so of dead money with Carson Wentz. If they cut Matt Ryan before June 1st, it'd be $40 million. I don't see them doing that. I mean, they could do the post-June 1 and split it up, but at that point, you're not getting the benefit anymore. So, you're kind of stuck and you can't build around your future quarterback. So what good is that? I just think they have the core in place, and I think building around Matt and Julio and Calvin and Grady and those guys, I think that's the best way that this new regime gets going.
I absolutely agree. Wow. One thing that I've always stated is, as far as you look at the history of Matt Ryan and the type of offenses that he's been in spread where pass first offenses. He's been in offense where there has been a run. You go back to the Michael Turner days where it was more of a play action, a big play, get big plays based off the run. And now with this signing of Mike Davis, and what exactly do you think this means as far as the running back? Do you see the Falcons going into the draft? Maybe because there's a lot of Falcon fans that feel as though that we need a Najee Harris, that type of a big play, a popular running back that it seems like everybody wants Najee. Do you think that this pretty much kills the argument for a guy like the Falcons drafting Najee maybe in the later rounds, I
don't think it kills it. What I said on Twitter was I think this keeps them from reaching for a position like running back, because Mike Davis will be the perfect bridge. He could be the lead back for a year, maybe 2. I think his contract, the official terms aren't out, but I speculated that he's got a $2 million cap hit in year 1. That's pretty much locked in, guaranteed. And then he's got a $3.5 million with only $1 million guaranteed next year. So an easy out if they do end up selecting a running back and want to turn it over to him. They can get out of that Mike Davis deal. But that's all it is. I think it creates flexibility. I'm still very much in favor of getting a Najee Harris to Atlanta. So if he was on the board in that round 2 pick, I think they'd be hard pressed to pass on that. But that's more unlikely that he will be there. So again, bringing in Davis, they're not pressured into moving up for Najee or anything like that. Javonte Williams was a name that I've been very enamored by. And, if not Najee, Javonte Williams would be option number 2. Now they don't necessarily need to rush and get him, because I thought if Najee's not available, you really have to try to maybe get Javonte Williams in round 2. Now, not necessarily. They can weigh their options. They can look at safety. They can look at cornerback. They can look at pass rusher. It just gives them more flexibility, which is what you kind of want to use free agency as, is a mechanism to give yourself the most flexibility to not reach on a specific position. Davis, I think, is the best signing they made by far. I think tremendous value, a guy that, has connections to the coaching staff with Charles London. Charles coached him in Chicago. Charles is now the quarterback coach. So I love this pick. I love the value of it. And again, if he's the running back 1 in 2021, I think Arthur Smith will be just fine toting the rock with him.
Like what Teb said, Mike is a good power running back. Y'all seen what he did to use to get Dan Quinn and Dimitri fired.
He's even good at that. He did a number on us, but he even is effective in the pass game, which is what you want out of an Army. You look at his numbers in Carolina, he was heavily targeted. For the money and the price, I think Mike Davis is going to be a better player for the Falcons than Todd Gurley showed. Unfortunately, Todd, the knees, really, the injury caught up to him. And I'd be surprised if Gurley landed anywhere with significant value. But for what they're paying Mike Davis compared to Todd Gurley, it's half the price. And I think you're going to get similar production, if not better. I think Davis is healthier.
So I got a question for you, Matt.
So
what would you think would be like the best scenario as far as like with the free agency, how they did now? What do you think would be like the best case scenario for the Falcons as far as the draft? Either picking at 4, trading back, or trading out the first round in general?
Well, I still think that they should trade back, and I think that's the ideal scenario. Just because, again, the way they've slow played free agency to this point, they haven't other than Davis, they haven't really gotten any guys that I think are going to be huge contributors, maybe with the exception of Eric Harris, because he does look like he's going to be inserted into that starting safety spot. But other than that, it's been mostly depth guys, veteran minimum guys. So by trading back, you're getting more cost-effective, talented, cheap contracts that could potentially be huge contributors for you. So I think getting more picks, getting more dart throws still should be very much at the top of Derek Fontenot's priority list. But again, in order to do the trade down, you have to have a partner that's willing and able, and that might not be the case. So if that is so, and they can't trade down, and they're not looking at quarterback anymore because of the reasons we kind of talked about earlier, for me, I think it comes down to one of 3 options at 4. And I go back and forth because I know Penny Sewell, the offensive lineman from Oregon, could be an all-pro, could be a Quentin Nelson type. I think we kind of talked a little bit about that when I was on the show a couple weeks ago. He could really solidify the offensive line, but is it worth, maybe making him transition into left guard as opposed to, all the analysts, and they're mostly right. I mean, left tackle is probably the most valuable spot that you can put him at. And we already have Jake Matthews, and Jake Matthews is even more locked in to Atlanta in the next couple of years. So really, I think the name that's catching a lot of buzz, and we talked about him too a couple of weeks ago, is Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, that's getting a lot of buzz.
Might be the best quarterback in this draft class. I don't know if that's a stretch. Okay, Styles, you're giving me a look. Is that what you're looking for?
What you said right now is basically what I'm agreeing about the Kyle Pitts. I've already said he was the best athlete.
Okay, yeah, so you're there with me. All right, because, again, you got to go back to how Arthur Smith likes to run his offense, and he loves loves it. And tight ends these days, I think they're undervalued. I mean, you even look at the franchise tags, which kind of shows the value that teams are placing on different positions. Tight end's very low on that list. Tight ends are mismatch problems. They create mismatches, and they allow you to do so much on offense. If you have a guy like Kyle Pitts and Hayden Hurst is your number 2 option, that's scary. That's scary. As long as you get some competent blocking, which I think, with the coaching, they'll get that. Man, pick your poison. Pick your poison on steroids with that type of offense. So you start with Kyle Pitts. Round 2, again, if Javonte Williams is there, I think long and hard about that. If not, you could look at a cornerback. Greg Newsom's a guy from Northwestern that could be there. That's a very smart, under-the-radar athlete. And then round 3, I think you could find yourself some competition for Matt Gano at left guard and Quinn Miners, a kid from UW Whitewater, small school, really, really catching some eyes. And, he can compete with Matt Gano because Matt Gano, if the season started tomorrow, I think Matt Gano is the starting left guard, which I think there's nothing wrong with that. Give him a shot there and then draft someone, and I'm sure they'll add another depth piece on the interior offensive line as a fallback. But that, to me, right now is like the best case scenario, 1, 2, 3, if they were to stay put at 4. Kyle Pitts, either Javonte Williams or a cornerback like Greg Newsom, and then pick 3, you look at like Quinn Miners, left guard from UW Whitewater.
Okay.
That brings up an interesting question. I think I'm not sure if but we have, that leads to a dilemma. You have Calvin Ridley, whose contract is going to be up soon, or at least is.
We'll have to make a decision on him after the 2021 season about that 5th-year option.
As well
no, I'm sorry.
In
May, I think. It's after the 3rd season, I believe, they have to make a decision. So I think that'll be a piece of news to watch out for in a month or 2.
Wow.
The 5th-year option has to get decided after the player's 3rd year, which Calvin has since completed. So,
wow.
I don't know if that takes away from your question, but
yeah, that kind of leads into the question
of what they do with him.
Because you have Hayden Hurst as well as Calvin Ridley.
I think Hayden's gone, and that's why I think Hayden's gone after this year. They're going to let him play it out, and then again, we'll see what happens. If they do, in fact, take Kyle Pitts, that'll even definitely signal that. If they don't take Kyle Pitts, again, I still think they look elsewhere at tight end. Maybe even later in the draft, a guy like Brevin Jordan from Miami, who's been compared to Johnny Smith, who Arthur Smith coached for a few seasons. So, I think they probably look at tight end at some point in the draft, whether it's Kyle Pitts or not. And then, again, that leaves Hayden Hurst. This will be his last year. Calvin Ridley, though, again, to answer, I don't see how they let him go.
Mm-hmm.
I just, again, especially with Julio getting up there in age, I don't see it. Again, the 3rd name, which I didn't mention, but the 3rd name of the 3 that I'm considering it for is Jamar Chase. That one's the hotter one of the 3, just because, again, you already have Julio Jones, you already have Calvin Ridley, you have Russell Gage. But if you take Jamar Chase, I mean, it's, we talked about Arthur Smith loves tight ends, but it is also a 3 wide receiver league. And you take Jamar Chase and Russell Gage is your 4th option.
That's scary.
And then Russell Gage will also be a free agent, so you have the flexibility to let him walk. Huge fan of him. I hate to see him go, but you have the flexibility there. And then you have Jamar Chase, Calvin Ridley, and then Julio Jones returns to full strength, and you have those 3 for a couple seasons. Man, you put Julio in the slot, extend his career a little bit more. let him beat up on slot cornerbacks, have Jamar Chase and Calvin out wide. All you need is the blocking. All you need is a couple seconds, and Matt, as being the point guard and the distributor that he can be, just kind of you pick your options. So that would be the third guy, but again, Calvin Ridley, I think, is in the team's long-term plans just because of what he does well, which is beat man coverage. He gets open. Yes, he has some things to clean up as far as running with the football and being more physical at the catch point. But yeah, I think Calvin Ridley is here for the long term.
Yeah, Jamar Chase is an interesting pick right there. But
yeah, that's the one that I think is, again, I know we need defense, but when you're taking someone that high, you have to look at where the value in this draft class is. And there's not, this isn't a great class for pass rushers. There's not that number one blue chip guy in the top 5 like there is in most years. Cornerback, Patrick Surtain, the second, definitely turned some heads today with his testing at his pro day. So maybe he rises up close to that top 5, but I really think he's more a guy you want to pick in the 10 to 15 range. So again, the top of this draft is all about the offensive skill players and the quarterbacks. And I guess the offensive lineman with Sewell and maybe even Rashawn Slater. So you gotta take where the value is. You gotta take the best player at that particular juncture. And the Falcons aren't in a position where they can't really take a particular player. Yes, they have a really good receiving core already, a good trio. Yes, their offensive line has already invested heavily in the first round. But that doesn't matter. There's still spots that you can improve upon and improve the depth. And as they say, you're only as strong as your weakest link. So if you can improve your weakest link in that particular part of your depth chart, you're all the more better for it.
But we got Floyd Donnelly here. He's talking about Barkevious Mingo.
Yeah.
So what is your thought in that side?
Yeah, looking at the money of it, I thought it was noteworthy that he's getting paid more than Copeland, the dude that they signed a few days ago. Similar position, kind of an edge guy. So Mingo got a richer deal than Copeland, which tells me he's probably going to be slotted in at the edge 3 spot. And Copeland will be battling it out with Tuiota Mariner for edge 4 or 5 spot. And again, Mingo's a guy that has some connections to the coaching staff. He played for Ted Monticino, who's the outside linebacker coach, at 2 spots recently with the Colts and the Bears. So again, certainly a guy that some staff members know well and know how to use him. And again, I think he's going to be a rotational guy. Former first-round pick, never lived up to it, but can give you some snaps, can give you maybe 3-4 sacks in the season. So again, depth signing, you need rotational guys, but I do think they still need to significantly add someone at this spot. And, that's kind of why over the weekend I name dropped Jadeveon Clowney.
I saw that.
His market's going to be, but, putting him opposite Dante Fowler could have some potential. And I think Clowney would like to come to Atlanta. I believe that. I think someone was telling me, and I don't know if this is 100%, but like back in 2014 when he was got the first overall, I think there was something that he wanted Atlanta to come up and trade for him. So, being a guy from down south, South Carolina, I think he could be attracted to this spot, but is the money enough? Like, again, I don't know what his market is. I think it's been deflated because he's been hurt and, he doesn't have the sack production, which can be overrated. He's a guy that's going to, be disruptive and create for others. And, the scary potential for him is you slide him inside. He's been very effective inside, and you put him next to Grady Jarrett. That could be very nice.
That could be scary. Yeah.
So that's a medium to big size fish that right now I'm circling and keeping my eye on. because that's why they have the restructures with Grady and Dion and Julio. If they want it in their back pocket, they can create some money to make a play like that. If they get far along in the negotiations, where Clowney is, it's reasonable, it's possible. Right now, it's just rumors and smoke, but they need to add at that spot, and I prefer that they added a veteran of his caliber rather than go into this draft class and try to expect a rookie to make an impact.
Okay.
Speaking of draft class, I have a question from Raymond Elder. We're going to get into your questions now. Is there a chance we go center in the later rounds, and what about defensive draft picks?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that during this free agency that has been interesting to me was Falcons have been linked to a couple centers, notably David Andrews from New England, or formerly of New England, then went back to New England on a 4-year deal. So the fact that they were connected to a center after taking a center in round 3 last year, like that's I have questions about that. I have doubts. What do they not think Hennessy can be the guy? I mean, we saw him for the last 2 games, and I thought he did a pretty decent job given the competition. He went up against the Chiefs and the Bucks, the 2 Super Bowl representatives, and he held his own. Matt didn't get killed or anything. I think his run blocking certainly is a little bit ahead of the curve versus the pass blocking, but he'll get that. And I was always high on Hennessy, so I would be a little disappointed if they did go center. I think really left guard is the spot, and potentially tackle depth are the offensive line spots that they can look at. But again, because of who they were connected to in free agency, I mean, I wouldn't rule it out at this point. And then the defensive draft picks, we talked about it a little bit. Again, I think the first round of the draft, top of the draft, if they're staying at 4, I think offense makes more sense. If they are in a trade back scenario, then that's when the defensive picks start coming. That's when, if they're moving back to the teens, you look at Patrick Surtain or you look at J.C. Horn in round 1. Round 2, you start looking at the safeties. You start looking at Trayvon Moehrig from TCU or Richie Grant from UCF. That's if they can get a second top 50 pick by moving back, that's ideal, because then that's kind of where I think Moehrig and Richie Grant are probably going to wind up. For Moehrig, anyways, I've kind of been using the Grant Delpit comparison last year. Grant Delpit was a guy that was looked upon as a first-round pick throughout, and then ended up falling to the 40s, to the Browns. And even, the kid from Winfield from Tampa Bay, same thing. He fell to the 40s. So I think, this is a type of safety class which is pretty similar to last year's, where I don't see more. I mean, maybe more gets to the late 20s, but if he's hovering in that early second round range, that's a pick that I think Falcons should maybe sprint to the podium on, especially based on the free agency, only bringing in Eric Harris to this point, and then Jalen Hawkins, who I think should be a depth special teamer at best right now. They definitely, I think, if anything, if they're tipping their hand in one way, it's that they're going to bring in a safety pretty early.
Right. Yeah.
Because they need to.
Badly.
Yes.
You might ask about 3 questions with that statement.
I know. I'm trying to go through them now because you pretty much kind of hit a lot of everybody's questions.
This lets you know he's a professional, boy. He hit questions.
Let's see.
Okay.
You got one? Go ahead. Go ahead.
So it's pretty much Sports 101 here. He was talking about Micah Parsons. I know ain't nobody been talking about him now.
Now this is not taking him out. I would not. I wouldn't touch Micah Parsons.
I knew that was
probably not in the first round. Like, even if you trade back, for me, he has too many red flags. There's the off-field stuff, but then I think as a player, I don't necessarily think he has the instincts to be a top-flight linebacker early on. Maybe he gets there, but there's a lot of question marks about how much he loves the game, and again, maturity questions. He was kind of the ringleader apparently with the Penn State hazing scandal that led to a player kind of transferring and I think filing a lawsuit. So yeah, I don't see it with him both from a player standpoint and an off the field standpoint. And again, I think Falcons are in a decent spot at linebacker with Foy potentially up for a new deal, and Dion, if you want to, he's under contract for several years. So for me, Micah Parsons, I think to answer the question, I think just the off-field stuff, I think, is starting to catch up with him. And then, again, I'm not sure the on-field talent is worthy enough for a top 15, 20 pick.
Yeah, them off-field issues, man. Like I said, when I heard that, I said, "Oh, he about to drop." I don't know how far down he gonna drop. He gonna drop. Ain't nobody talking about like Michael Park before all that came out. He was a top 3 pick.
I forget who it was too. I was watching a video. I think it was maybe Bucky Brooks, who says he knows Micah pretty well, and even he brought up that he has some serious questions about maturity and the love of the game, and is this going to work in the pros? We'll see. I could be wrong, but I wouldn't take that risk, especially the Falcons. Falcons can't afford right now to take risks. Not at that stage of the draft.
Yes, ATM 34-5. We know about the Penn State history. That's why we're not saying nothing on that. This ain't the show for that.
And Matt, we have you on for 30 minutes. Did you want to hang on with us, or?
I'm good for a couple, maybe 15, 20 more. If we got more questions, or we got more.
Okay. Got a couple more questions for you. Okay. I see someone that said, did we go with running back already? What running back do you like the most?
I have one question. I see one Matev Gaming.
We'll go back to this one after that one.
Azeez Ojulari. What do you think about him possibly being a potential pick for the Falcons?
Where's that at?
Yeah. What range do you think, what are we talking about here? Are we talking?
Me personally, I say second, fourth.
Yeah.
Fourth round.
If he's there, I don't think he's making it out of the top 50. If he's there at 35, that'll certainly be a discussion point and a player that they look at, especially if they don't bring in a Clowney or anyone else of substance at edge. Azeez Ojulari, what I like about him, because again, I feel like with any pass rusher that kind of has a similar frame, you always hear the Vic Beasley stuff, and you'll always hear that, unfortunately. But I love the way Azeez takes on blocks, kind of, with some violence and some aggression.
He's not afraid. He's not afraid of the contact. He's not afraid of the
even contact. If he's outmatched. I mean, in the SEC, you're playing against the best offensive linemen in the country, and you're taking on guys that are 320 plus pounds, and he never looked overmatched. So, yeah, I think for me, he's like edge 1 or edge 2 in this class. So again, it's not a class where I think, you're going to really have someone go in the top 15 or 20. You might have the first edge go in the 20s. But if he were to fall at 35, I think he's certainly in the conversation. And then I guess circling back to the running backs, I mean, I talked a little bit about it.
Yeah, we already talked about it. Okay.
Is my draft crush. He has been since like last summer. I'd love that. I think he would fit perfectly in Arthur Smith's scheme. Now, again, with the Mike Davis signing, it doesn't become, that much of a need anymore. But certainly if he's there at 35, if the NFL messes up, like they're accustomed to doing every now and then, they let guys slide that shouldn't. If he's there, I'm really sprinting to the podium on that one. The other one's Javonte Williams. I think he's, again, his best football. He's only getting started. He's not even 21 yet. He had a 4.6 GPA in high school. So he's got a good head on his shoulders. Went to North Carolina, which Arthur Smith went to North Carolina, so I'm sure he knows Javonte as well as any probably coach in the NFL. Would love to have him at 2. Beyond those 2, you're starting to get into the Trey Sermon, the Chuba Hubbards, the Kylan Hills of the world, maybe in day 3. Trey Sermon, I think, would be great. He's a guy that probably got overshadowed and didn't get enough touches during college. Mm-hmm. So he's kind of the target on day 3 if they wait till that point, round 4 range. As for what Mike Davis means for Quadri Allison and Tony Brooks-James, Quadri, I don't know if we're ever going to really see Quadri be embraced the way some fans want.
Right.
When they drafted him, I thought, oh man, this is a wasted pick because of who they already had in the roster. And again, I'm not sure he necessarily has the skill set to be a featured back in a committee. Yeah, he can get some touches. He did impress me. He got a few touches this past season, and there was one particular one. I think it was Thursday Night Carolina game where he did show some lateral agility that I didn't think he had. So, maybe if they don't do anything else at running back, then that could be a sign that Quadri, Mike Davis, and Nito Smith are in a full committee, and that's the way they approach it. But I don't think we're ever really going to see Quadri the way some fans, I think, hope to and want to. I think that was just the pick that they made in the 5th round, and it happens, and you move on. You shrug and you move on.
Which one y'all want to go with?
I see a question, and he kind of touched on Jalen Hawkins, but this is an interesting pick that a question that I think, and it comes from Reginald Banks. What are your thoughts on Jamie?
Do we have to draft him? Can't we just take him as an undrafted free agent? I think. Is he going to get drafted?
I think he'll get drafted, just not very, 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 very high.
Maybe like 6th or 7th round.
Probably.
Yeah. I'm guessing Reginald's a UGA fan, maybe. Probably. I don't know. I don't know enough about Jamie Newman to really, but I think he's kind of a late round guy that probably doesn't stick in the NFL very long.
The thing about Jamie Newman is like he throws a nice deep ball, but anything intermediate and short, he's incredibly inconsistent. So he's a project player. I don't really see much.
The name, since we're on the topic of like late round developmental quarterbacks, the name I've kind of circled. I want to look into him a bit more, but Davis Mills from Stanford.
Yeah, we've been getting questions on him.
Apparently he's kind of that guy, maybe like Kirk Cousins, that guy that gets drafted in round 4 that could potentially be a competent starter in the future. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, they can look at Kyle Trask. That could be a name, maybe. I know, that was a popular connection to make with Arthur Smith because Kyle's, athletic and can run some of the zone read stuff, maybe that Smith did with Tannehill. But from a passing standpoint, I don't think you're really going to want to hitch your wagon to Trask long term ever. So, yeah, I think there's no, there's not really an in between. That if you don't go quarterback early, like that's kind of how it is. You gotta take quarterback early if you really want one that's going to be worth a damn. And then if not, like you can take your chance. Like I think they will probably take a developmental guy if they don't draft one at 4, just because upon those comments that they are going to take quarterbacks more often than the old regime did. Like the old regime only took like Sean Renfree, I think, in 2013, 7th round pick. Other than that, right. And then Kirk was an undrafted guy, but they never really drafted late round quarterbacks. And I think Fontenot's going to take a different approach to that and probably take one every couple of years. So 1.5. Yeah, that's about accurate right now, I guess. Let me just. Yeah, about a little less than 2, maybe after the signings for Mingo and Davis. But again, as I talked about, they have in their back pocket 3 big tools to create more space to really make do more damage in free agency. That's restructuring Grady Jarrett first and foremost. I think that's gonna be done regardless. And maybe it's not a restructure, but Grady's got 2 years left on his deal, so an extension is another vehicle that they can do to lower that cap hit this year. So I think they're either going to restructure him or work on an extension. The extension might be something that they have to do later in the summer, whereas the restructure they can do now. But I think Grady's definitely, I don't see why they wouldn't do that. He's still playing at an incredibly high level, and I expect him to. Deion Jones is the other one. That one, maybe they don't want to do just because they maybe they like Foy and they want to give a contract to Foy. It's possible. And then Julio's probably the one you do last. Just if you want to get someone big, if Clowney you get an extra couple million, and you really wanted to bring him in, maybe you have to resort to that. But they still have cap space the ability to create more cap space. And again, positions to look at. I think interior offensive line, they still need to add some depth. A veteran cornerback, I think should be in the cards. I'm hoping they bring back Darqueze Dennard. I did like him. I liked his versatility to play inside and outside, and I think Dean Pease might see some Logan Ryan in him. Maybe some ability to play safety later in his career. So I'd like them to bring him back. And then, again, pass rusher. I think if it's not Clowney, maybe Ryan Kerrigan, who's still out there. That would be an interesting one. Older guy, but would be great for the locker room and does know the defensive line coach well, dating back to their days, all the way back to the Purdue college days. That was his D-line coach. So maybe Ryan Kerrigan is a guy, and you have Kerrigan, Mingo, Fowler, and a rookie draft pick mixing in. Could have some potential.
With the younger guys like Marlon Davidson and John Kaminsky, who we don't really know what they are. We don't know what these guys are.
Yeah,
so
I think we're going to find out. I think we're going to find out too. I mean, because again, they didn't add to that position group. I thought maybe Brent Urban would be a guy, strong side defensive end in a 3-4. Dallas signed him to a very reasonable deal, which kind of feel like we missed out on. But I think Kaminsky is going to be that position for us, the strong side defensive end, and then Davidson's going to mix in with Grady Jarrett at the 3-tech. And yeah, we're gonna find out about those guys. Hopefully, it was unfortunate for Davidson because he got COVID and he started with an injury, and that's the worst thing that can happen for a rookie is it just totally kills your development. But I still, I'm high on him, and I think he could be a very nice player for them.
Okay, so we're going to go to a couple of last questions. I know you said you only had about 15, 20. So thoughts on Colin Hill, and then we'll get to one more after that.
Yeah, I think at round 4, if he's there and they haven't done anything at running back, I think Colin Hill is going to be right there in the conversation with, Trey Sermon and, Chuba Hubbard. Guys that, have the requisite size that you would want in a featured back. And again, I think Kylan opted out his last year. So we didn't get to see him, but from what I remember the year before, again, guy that, can produce in the pass game as well, as far as from a receiving standpoint. I have to see from a blocker. Because that's the thing that I really love about Javonte Williams, not to center the conversation too much more on him, but Javonte as a pass blocker, I think he can come in and you don't have to worry, I think, which is rare for rookies. So, again, I have to do a little bit more homework for Kylan in that regard. But, yeah, in round 4, yeah, sign me up if that's what they wanted to do.
Okay, Styles or Mike, y'all want to pick the last one? That's a lot of questions, and of course we can answer. Yeah, I can answer those.
I love you, man. It's the views are just going up, man. We got to get you back on here more often.
Yeah,
man.
we do.
Let's do it.
I got
be happy to, especially as we get closer to draft season.
Oh yeah,
one of the best times of the year, and
we're doing a draft show. If you didn't know, we are definitely doing a draft show.
All right, let's
we
go.
Might hit you up for that.
Definitely. Yeah, it's gonna be just for the first round though, because draft is extremely long.
Sure, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
All right, I see one right here. Since y'all touched on a Georgia player as far as Azeez Oluwari, I'm gonna go ahead and get a Tech player in here since somebody asked.
I knew he was gonna pick that.
I was gonna go there. Because Matt doesn't know I am a Tech fan, so Jordan Thomas basically said, how much could a guy like Jalen Camp out of Georgia Tech raise his stock? Said his combine was a 4.4 40 and 30 reps at 225.
Look, I'm sorry, I didn't even know who Jalen Camp was prior to today. With those results, to answer the question, I think, yeah, I mean that's certainly someone that would make me do a double take and figure out who this guy is. So, K-Styles, tell me what
what a lot of people don't know about Tech is known for having a lot of big ass receivers.
Okay, yeah.
He's like a 6'3".
That is for sure.
He's like a 6'3", 220 type of guy.
Okay,
he's a big dude.
Yeah.
The only thing about him is his hands are so at times. He'll high point the ball.
Well, and I guess they no longer do the triple option anymore. But back in the day when they did do the triple option, it would make sense for the receiver's hands to not be so great because they're barely getting thrown the ball that much to get those reps. But to put up 30 reps for a receiver, that's I would think that would be tops if we had a combine. That would be near the tops for receivers. 30 is a lot for a receiver. I know some offensive linemen don't even do that. So certainly a guy maybe in the late rounds probably to take a flyer on. And again, that's what you do in the late rounds is you look for athletes and you look for moldable clay that you see some traits in. And it sounds like Jalen Camp could fall into that category, being a toolsy, traitsy player.
Yeah, because right now, outside of Presley Harvin III, that's like the only name that's coming out of Tech.
Well, I was going to say when you kind of prefaced by saying this was going to be a Georgia Tech question, I was like, do they even have any draft prospects?
we normally don't get them every year.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'll be the first one to tell you that.
I have nothing against Georgia Tech, so no shade there. I don't really have a college team per se. I mean, being from Pennsylvania, I keep an eye on Penn State, but certainly just kind of follow college for the draft prospects more or less. But yeah, I mean, I think the Falcons should take a receiver at some point. Just again, build the depth. Add some because again, Russell Gage is free agent, so you want to have someone behind him. I think Zacchaeus will be a free agent as well, and then again, Julio getting up there in age, you want to kind of plan a little bit, or at least be able to give him a breather and move him to the slot and use him in different ways rather than just have him be that dominant outside guy that he's been for so long.
Right.
Matt, well, we appreciate you being on. We didn't want to hold up all your time. Appreciate you just doing this last minute with us. And yeah, it's always a blast. You're welcome. Definitely draft show. Definitely come join us for that because we are definitely going to be.
I will be.
I want to see everybody's reaction at that fourth pick or whatever we decide to do.
It'll be one of the more. I don't know how should I say? I mean, definitely more impactful. Draft picks that the Falcons will have made in the last 10 to 15 years.
Absolutely.
I'd love to be there for all the reactions and see
because this chat's going to light up. I think we're going to probably have more than what we have right now because
it can get pretty ugly. I'm sure too, because it's very divided right now. I know all of you fall on kind of the same side as let's build and invest in Matt some more. So it'll be interesting. So I'm looking forward to it. Can't get into enough.
Well, we'll set that up, let you know about that. But thank you again, Matt.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Where can we find you?
So you can find me on Twitter at Matt Karoly, Karoly. And again, free agent right now, but enjoying coming on shows like this. Hopefully can be a regular guest, and you can catch my tweets, talking salary cap, talking free agency, talking pretty much anything Falcons related. So
thank you, sir. I really appreciate it, man. Like I said before, this is probably the best numbers guy that I know personally. So you guys, if you want to know anything about the salary cap, you want to know the truth and accurate truth. We're talking about a lot of people claim to have, the know everything about the cap, but this guy, he's typically on everything. So you guys check it out on Twitter. Matt, thank you for joining us. We're gonna stay on with the people and act. We behave this time. We behave. We're gonna act when you.
Sounds good, guys. Appreciate you all.
All right. Thank you. You have a good one.
You too.
All right. It's always an honor to have him on, and he will be back, guys. You requested it. He will definitely be back. So, with some other questions in the chat. Let's just go ahead and get going.
Y'all don't get enough of disrespecting Georgia Tech like this before. I'm just letting y'all know now. I'm just letting you know. We the little brothers right now.
Yo, you know what though? Hey man, I'm gonna say this. I never hated Tech until Paul Johnson. When he came, I just look, I can't watch this bullshit. Like I can't watch a run play every play for 3 hours, 2-3 hours. We're watching running plays though. Bro, I don't like video games are not even like this.
Bruh.
Video games are not.
Bro, you think you was tired of that? Bro, we averaged 4 passes a game. You think that was going to win? We got lucky in 2014 when we waited all the way to number 11 in the nation.
Well, you got a Tech fan in the Jordan Thomas. Tech's time is coming. We on the way.
We on the way.
That's fan 6, K-Styles. Fan 6.
Have a lot of
hey, that makes Tech fan number 5. hey man, it's coming. It might not be now. It's coming. I'm letting you know that now.
Hey man,
we gonna watch.
Oh, we gonna see this year.
Just K-Styles. Just K-Styles on YouTube for Tech content. Check him out.
Oh yeah. Yes, for Tech content, just K-Styles. Let me get his link while you talking. Yeah, go ahead and get in some of these questions.
You say something there, bro?
Only thing I gotta say is Gibbs is on the way. That's all I gotta say. Gibbs is on the way.
Hey man, let's just go back just a bit, kind of what we were talking about earlier. There's one of the reasons why we bring guys on like Matt Karoly, and we got a special guest coming. Actually, he kind of alluded to it, but his quote unquote friendly. We got him coming on Friday. Nobody. Hey, look, this is what I'm gonna tell you. A lot of people have been looking for Matt, for Matt, Mike, and Aaron Freeman. All right, Matt, Mike, and Aaron Freeman to finally do a show together, man. And guess what? We got him. We got Aaron Freeman coming on the show Friday. So you guys, man, it's gonna be another informative Atlanta Falcons journalist like this. He's brilliant, man. So you guys got to check him out. But check us out Friday. But we brought this on to kind of talk about Matt Ryan and what this means as far as his contract is his contract is concerned, and what exactly?
Wait a minute. Woo. Yeah, okay, stop.
Jesus, that's that triple option making that noise. Hold on, let me go and fix this right quick. I'll be right back.
But what is contract on the restructure mean? And I hate to say it to a lot of you Falcons fans out there who are just looking for a quarterback in the fourth pick, man. I just honestly, when it comes down to it, I just don't think it's going to happen. Matt Karoly, this is why we bring on guys who think completely different. And we're going to have another guy, and Aaron Freeman, again, Friday. He's going to give his thoughts on the restructure and what it means. So we want to give you guys nothing but the truth and the facts of the matter, different opinions, and just like guys, like a lot of these guys don't, like we're talking about quarterbacks. He didn't know much about Jimmy Newton. He didn't know much about a lot of guys, but he gave you the running backs. He gave you the running backs. He gave you defensive ends. He gave you defensive linemen and what it means for the team. Like these guys have different opinions. So this is what we try to provide for you guys. But Kevin, what do you think about as far as Matt Ryan is concerned, his restructure, and do you think Matt was kind of right as far as his thoughts and what we're going to see in Matt Ryan for the next couple of years or so?
Man, I mean, you're right. I mean, you think about it, the restructure just pushed the money back. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to deal with it. You don't like it, you got to watch them.
Mm-hmm.
But in all honesty, like I said, even with their 4th pick, we still don't know what they're going to do with it.
Right.
But just know, like I said, they're seeing it as Matt Ryan is not really a big problem as far as the way this team direction is going. So all they want to do now, they just want to build, like you said, they want to build the team around him. So, like you said, that's where that first round pick is going to be the most important pick of the draft. It's always the most important pick of every draft. But with a new regime, that first round pick,
oh yeah,
is the tone.
All eyes will be on Atlanta. I'll tell you that.
But he really kind of like. It's going to be a controversial pick, and we're going to see shortly. He kind of alluded to something that we'll go into that also. But the Falcons have to make a decision on Calvin Ridley like now. Like this is what I was saying. All season, pretty much all season and. During the offseason, the Falcons is just going to have to make a decision on whether or not they like not only Hayden Hurst, but Calvin Ridley. Matt thought for like there's no way that they could get rid of Calvin Ridley, but when you have a guy like Kyle Pitts, Julio Jones, have a guy like Russell Gage, like it's quite possible. He even brought up the possibility of drafting Jamar Chase. So that's going to be interesting, man. Like this is the first time in a long time I just have absolutely no idea what these guys are thinking. They're setting it up where they can draft a tight end, they can draft a receiver, they can draft the offensive lineman, a safety. Like I have no idea where they're going. Miss Maggie, do you have an idea of where like I have no idea where they're going. I have no idea where they're going at this point. Do you?
I don't, because these cuts and everything they've been making, it's been shocking. Or a couple of decisions they've been making. I honestly don't know where they'll be going in the draft. Honestly, in that first pick, I really don't know, because they're tight-lipped. No telling what they're gonna be doing.
So, in the famous words of your boy Just K Styles, the best way to put it is, we don't damn know.
We don't know a freaking thing. We don't know a freaking thing, man. And like I said, man, I could definitely see Kyle Pitts, because we heard Terry Fontenot said, like, we're gonna take the best available player. Like he said that also. It could be a smoke screen. It could not be. Like, we have no idea. Like, the guy ran a 4.4, a 4.48 as a tight end. We're talking about a guy that's like 246, 6'5", 6'4", 240, running that speed. Like that's definitely hard to pass on, especially when you got a freak of nature of Julio and you got Hayden Hurst, Calvin Ridley, Russell Gage. Like that's a scary offense. Like that really is a scary offense.
The Nation just said that Pitts, Hurts, Ridley, Jones, Gage catching the ball.
Oh my goodness, that would be insane.
See, that would be nasty. But the one thing that we haven't talked about is that's gonna take catches away from Ridley.
Yeah.
That's gonna take catches away from him.
Yeah, he's already kind of a hothead. Like I don't necessarily say hothead. Like he's not gonna like him that his catching going in. Like somebody's gonna suffer, and I just don't see Julio being the one that you take catches away. I can see them, kind of phasing Calvin Ridley more so out of the offense, more so than Julio. Julio is just Julio. Like it'll be hard for you. You're already paying him $60 million guaranteed. How can you say like, okay, I paid you $60 million, I'm not going to throw you the ball anymore? Like that just be a total waste of money. So I can't see them taking the ball away from Julio, but I could see them phasing Calvin Ridley out of the offense on account of Kyle Pitts or even Hayden Hurst. We could possibly see Hayden Hurst being traded also. It's like Falcons have a lot. Like this is the first time. Like I don't damn know what the heck is going on.
I like it that way. Yeah. It's gonna be a surprise. It's definitely gonna be. Now I saw something earlier about the Falcons meeting with somebody on Friday.
It was Malcolm Butler.
Malcolm Butler. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So how you feel about that case, Style?
Malcolm Butler. Well, we kind of see how he did without that Patriots defense. It's kind of on the bad, but for the veteran minimum, I could kind of see him doing that since he does have familiarity with what Arthur Smith and what DPs will bring to the table as far as the locker room side of the game. Yes, like I could definitely see that. It's just gonna be depending on his price range. What is he gonna be willing to pay for? Because we ain't got no money for him if he looking at something right around that 15 to 20 million.
Well, the Falcons are signing 1 year, 2 year, $5 million, little deals. So,
but like I said, that's the history of Terry Fontenot. That's what he do. That's what he's used to, bringing in guys for them 1 and 2 year deals.
That's probably how we're going to pretty much build the rest of this roster, probably, for the most part.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so he's going to, like you said, he's going to use the 1 and 2 year deals to build the depth as far as the free agency, and use the draft to build the foundation of this team.
Well, I see a question here, and where is it? Dwight Smith. His question. I think this is it. He saw a mock draft. He saw a mock that we going to trade with the Panthers, and why would we trade with them? I said this earlier. Oh, I know K-Style. Look.
No, I'm about to go with this.
Go ahead. I know you know what I'm thinking. Go ahead.
If they want that 4th pick, you take everything you get from them motherfuckers.
I'm saying it's gonna be on so many teams running for that 4th pick.
I don't give a damn if it's a division rival. If you want that 4th pick, if you're a division rival, you giving up more.
Yes, absolutely. Taking for everything that they get. If you want it, get 3 first-round picks. If y'all want it that bad, come get it. Give me 3 first-round pick, 3 seconds, and the 3 fourths. Like if that could happen, take them for everything that they got. I'm not opposed to it.
Because at the end of the day, see, they have to go through a transition anyway, because Christian McCaffrey, he got two minutes on him already.
Right.
We seeing him breaking down bit by bit. So
and
they look
actually I've actually seen his name being mentioned in trade room. So it's like, hey man, y'all gave that dude that all that money, and you pretty much wore him down, tore him down to pieces. And look, this is why we always say, man, like I'm not drafting a running back in first round. I'm barely thinking about second round. Like the only guy that at this point in time, there's two guys in this draft that I'm taking in the second round. I'm not taking either one of those guys in the first round. And that's Najee Harris and Javonte Williams. Like outside of that, I'm not drafting a running back that high. It's third round and fourth round for me for a running back.
Oh goddamn. I'm about to say we got heat-seeking missiles ready to hit the show already.
What is that? What's new?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
It's different.
I'm about to say, man, that the ghost of Gilbert trying to hijack the show out.
Or the ghost of former friend. One of the two.
Maybe Smith is trying to get back in the fold. Well, we don't know what the hell's going on. But let's see. Like Ultra Shell 97 said here, man, it's a business. Sure. You trade with who you got to trade with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got to get over that. Everybody was against Terry, but
think about it like this: hindsight is 20/20. What if they do trade up and get that quarterback, and that quarterback ends up being a bum? Now you dodged a bullet and got assets because of it.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's 50-50 regardless of who you trade with anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We got somebody with a whole nother language in the chat.
Man, I don't know. What?
Translation, please.
I'm not even going to try to say that.
Yeah.
That look like somebody. That look like somebody child done fat fingered something.
It look like I don't know what that was.
Well, appreciate you watching. We appreciate you watching, though.
What the heck that means?
FYCVHB.
Somebody trolling us, man. Somebody, they gotta be trolling. There ain't no way that's real. Those are words, bro.
What Jarvis Baldwin talking about? He said the only way we trade out the fourth pick is if we at least get a first round to go into the late teens, and the second at least to trade back this year's pick. Because everybody know what my scenario would be: just trade out the first round in general.
Jarvis Baldwin, I'm like you are just set on the Falcons just staying put. I want to know why you're set on the Falcons staying put at 4 when you don't have no damn money. We ain't got no goddamn money. We broke. We eating noodles, okay?
We need a translator. He's trying to tell us something.
I'm about to say Devon over here still talking about Georgia Tech damn students. Well, you better tell your boy with this unknown language to stop trolling. Tell him what the hell he told. You need to translate that for me, homie. Let's see. What he say? ATM345 got one right here. He said Chris Sims from the NFL Network said that Zach Wilson will be drafted before Trevor Lawrence. Did not fucking say that about Mel Kiper 3 months ago. I said,
look,
I've been saying that for the last couple months. I like they're gonna fall in love with Zach Wilson, and don't be surprised if he goes to the raw pick.
He's the American dream. He's a pretty Caucasian guy that they absolutely love. So I'm just not going. I mean, Sunshine, he all right. You know what I'm saying? Sunshine is all right, but they going to fall in love with the new Tom. So I'm not even surprised. He represents them. He looks like them. He all that. So I'm not surprised whatsoever. It's all about image in this NFL. We already know that. That's why Tom Brady, they don't want to let Tom Brady go, even though he's 40, 50 years old right about now. It's time to go. So I'm totally not against that. But I say this, Jacksonville, if you want to do things the right way, don't do it. Think. use your brain for once. Okay, use your brains for once. This guy's a BYU. This is not Steve Young, right? Even Steve Young struggled for 3-4 years before he finally got it. He struggled. He was absolute ass. Steve Young was absolute ass until he went to San Francisco. So think before you do this. Think before you do this. Sunshine is not that damn good. Zach Wilson is not that damn good. But think, one thing I will say, that at least Sunshine has, at the very least, played against NFL caliber talent. This dude at BYU, independently, and they played some trash teams. Okay, trash.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah, Zach Wilson kind of looks like Jim McMahon's lost love child or something out there. But like I said, if you go back to the heavy hitters at the end of the season, I've said this before. I said, don't be surprised if Zach Wilson goes number 1 overall.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like I said, because the only time anybody really ever talked about Trevor Lawrence in the last 3 months was his pro day. Outside of that, you really don't hear nothing out of him. Now, I might go out on a limb of saying that, but don't be surprised.
I'm with you, K-Style, my bad. But I'm just not blown away by any of these quarterbacks. This is probably one of the worst quarterbacks draft, and I don't believe in Sunshine. When I see him, like the only thing that I've seen him in college is him. He has the ability to play under center and in the shotgun, so I'll give him that. That's something that Justin Fields don't do. I just like Justin Fields incredibly inconsistent. He stares at the rush a little bit too much. You look at Zach Wilson, he's incredibly inconsistent with his passes. When he's on, he makes some beautiful throws, but that's when he's on. He's not very consistent with his throws. Trey Lance is a guy. How many games did he play in his entire career, Kevin?
17.
17 games in his career. Just think about that for a second. You want this guy to be your NFL quarterback that's going to lead a franchise. We're talking about a franchise of men, and you got NFL guys that in the NFL that play 17 games in 1 year, and he plays 17 games total in his collegiate career. As a starting quarterback. See, I'm not blown away by any of this crap. Give me Kellen Mond. If I'm going to be real, I'm drafting a guy. I'm drafting Trevor Lawrence, and I'm drafting Kellen Mond in the first round. I don't believe in any of those quarterbacks. I don't believe in any of them. I believe in Kellen Mond before Wilson and Field. Like, I don't believe in them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I was about to say, I disagree on you to the point that said this is the worst quarterback draft. Can't nobody get worse than that 2013 quarterback class. That was the worst quarterback class I've ever seen. What was that? EJ Manuel with Christian Hackenberg and all them boys? That was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what a lot of people know when you say about Kellen Mond, he didn't say he would draft Kellen Mond in the first round. He said he would draft him. He had more confidence in him.
Yes, I have confidence in him. I say first round. I have more confidence in him as a quarterback more so than he's at. We're talking about Zach Wilson. You guys on potential alone. Like when you look at him, if he gets in the right system, if he learns how to throw a damn accurate ball, in intermediate balls, like underneath, like when you look at Justin Fields, he's very inconsistent underneath. Yeah, he throws a pretty accurate ball, a deep accurate ball, but outside of that, he's not very consistent. And in the NFL, teams like defensive coordinators like Todd Bowles, Dean Pease, Don Martindale, these guys are not going to sit back and just let you throw the ball deep. They're going to send the house. They're going to make sure that you do that. So you're going to have to make those short intermediate routes. All they can do is mix coverages, send blitzes. Zone blitzes is how you confuse young quarterbacks. He's not used to seeing that, and he's not used to seeing that in college. I think even he has about the same amount, if not a little bit more. He played 2 seasons, so I think he's about 20 games or so. Justin Fields, he hasn't played in a lot of games as a starting quarterback. Like last year was his most games. Not last year, but the year before, it's like the most that he played as a starting quarterback. We're talking about starting quarterback. Like even going back to high school, he started. He only played like 2 years. He only started 2 years in high school. And high school ball as a quarterback. So it's like Justin Fields has so many red flags when it comes down to being a quarterback. I'm not talking about an athlete you can just plug in and run the goddamn wildcat all damn day. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about actual quarterback where you have to think, look at film. You got to look at the different blitzes. You got to look at the your opponents, what they're doing, what their tendencies are. Like these are the things you got to look at as far as being a quarterback concerned. And he just doesn't have that. He doesn't have that experience.
No. Well, I'll give my take on all 4 of the quarterbacks. Like I said, all the quarterbacks do have potential, but like you said, they're the one consistent thing that nobody talks about with all 4 of these quarterbacks is that they cannot slide or shit. The only reason why I say that is if you look at a lot of the film that they have, these quarterbacks be trying to run people over. Like I said, we see what happens to guys that kind of try. Like I said, if anybody see Sunshine try to run your ass, or you think somebody gonna take that to heart.
Mm-hmm.
Now, where Trey Lance and Zach Wilson, where they're kind of, I ain't gonna say red flags, but the concerns with those 2 is going to be the competition. We just gonna keep, but it's just gonna be the competition. Like I said. It's just something about that, because you gotta remember, North Dakota State runs the Carolina Cam Newton offense. That's the offense they run, which is power runs and throwing the ball deep. That's what they do. Now, Zach Wilson may be more so the more complete quarterback as far as throws, short, intermediate, and deep in this class. But sometimes he gets in his own way by trying to throw off his back foot half the time. I don't want him tearing his arm up.
Right.
Now, Justin Fields' issue more so, like you said, it's playing in that shotgun and having the Byron Leftwich release. That's what his problem is. He got that Byron Leftwich release.
What exactly do you mean by that? What about the Byron Leftwich? Exactly what you mean by that?
Which means he you could take a nap before he throw the ball. That's what I mean. But like you said, like at the end of the day, with these quarterbacks, it's just going to depend on the system. You have to have the system.
Mm-hmm.
Every quarterback we have to remember, every quarterback is a system player.
Right.
That's how you succeed. And if you're in a same system for 10 plus years, you have a better chance of succeeding. Now, if your ass is switching from system to system to system every 2 years, it'll hurt you. That what happened with Alex Smith. Remember, when Alex Smith got drafted ahead of Aaron Rodgers. Remember, Alex Smith went through 7 offensive coordinators in 7 years.
Wow.
That's a lot of studying you got to do for different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then, like you said, and Ricky Gaines said it right here. And another question we got to ask, are they a product of the players around them?
Oh, that's a great comment.
That's another thing. But at the end of the day, it's all just gonna depend on what type of system are they gonna get drafted in. So, like I said, I ain't gonna say this is the worst quarterback draft class. This may be as far as Name wise and recognition wise, maybe one of the best we have seen in a long time. But like I said, just don't think that all these quarterbacks are perfect, because that is how you get hurt. That's how your feelings get hurt.
Yeah, I just don't see anybody going past. Like, I just think it's a big mistake. I think it's a huge mistake to take Zach Wilson and the first three. I'm just gonna be honest, man. I just don't believe in him. Like I said, I could end up being wrong, but just I can't get past a quarterback with the lack of just the talent. He's not playing anybody. That's a huge that's a huge plus. That's a huge negative when you got a quarterback. We're talking about a quarterback who hasn't played against elite talent. Played in the independent. We're talking about independent league. So these guys, they handpicked their talent. They handpicked their schedule. That's a problem. And I know a lot of people say every school for the most part, every school doesn't necessarily what happens is, and we probably going a little left as far as like college and how they deal with it. Most of the big colleges, they play big college because they know it's like the TV schedules and whatnot. The TV schedules, it dictates who they want. So they want the big matchups. And teams like Georgia is going to play Alabama. Alabama is going to play Auburn. Auburn is going to play, like Alabama. We're going to see those big time. We're going to see these big time schools playing big time schools. But with BYU, you got Notre Dame. These guys are going to handpick their guys because it's all about, they want to make sure their school look as good as possible because it's all about their, their image. So they want to handpick the sorriest teams they know they can be, so they can end up 12-0 at the end of the season. And just based on them being BYU, based on them being Notre Dame, they're going to be inside, the top 25. They're handpicking. Go ahead. I already know.
I'm glad you said Notre Dame because I think we've already kind of noticed that with Notre Dame, they always end up in the top 4 every year and always get blown out in the playoffs against actual good teams. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. The only reason why they put them in that spotlight like that is because that's the highest grossing TV deal type school in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's really it. Like that's really it. That's really it. And we'll get a little bit, a couple more questions. If you guys got a little bit, a couple more questions, we'll answer a couple more questions. What are your thoughts on 21? I haven't really seen the schedules. I really have. Have you seen the schedules?
I haven't seen them. I haven't seen the full schedule. I've seen it before, but I have to look at it again.
Okay. I haven't really seen the schedules, but
okay, so it says we got the NFC East and the AFC East this year.
Oh, man, we going 19-0. We got the NFC East. Oh, we going 19. We're gonna beat them 9 times in a row. How about that? Now, if we going against the NFC East, I know the Giants have made some moves, but outside the Giants, man, like that division, the Cowboys, Cowboys are the Cowboys. We can beat them. I'm not really scared of them. I mean, who the heck is afraid of Philadelphia? We're talking about Philadelphia. We're talking about it.
Oh yeah, Fly Eagles for life. He was in here earlier. He was talking about they just found their backup quarterback.
You need to worry about a starting quarterback.
No. We're talking about their backup. Did you hear who their backup quarterback is?
Joe Flacco. I know. Joe Flacco? Wacko Flacco? Bruh. You should have kept that to yourself, bruh. Joe Flacco. You happy about Joe Flacco?
He was depressed.
Oh,
he was depressed. He called him Joe. He called him Joe Fluco. That's what he called him.
Oh, my bad. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I'm like, Lord Jesus. I'm sending a prayer for you, bro. I'm praying for you. I am praying for you. The Washington football team, good. Yeah, that defense good, but they still don't have a quarterback. They don't have a quarterback. So, like, that whole East, man, it's like the Falcons are going to play they're going to play a losing. They're going to have a losing schedule for the most part. So they're going to play the worst team in each division. So I honestly expect I really don't expect no less than 6 wins this year. I think just based on the schedule alone and the Falcons, the talent that they have, I see 6 wins plus. Easy, just based on the schedule itself. I see 6 wins at the very least. What you think about the schedule? It's like just based on that alone. It's like we haven't really had a chance to look at it, but based on we know that they're going to play a last place schedule. What are your predictions? Everybody, let us know what your predictions is for this season. Also in the comments.
Like I said, I'm a kind of one up you on that one. I say I don't expect no less than 7 wins.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, is like I said, that both of those predictions would be an improvement from what we was this past season. But we also have to look at the history and how this team kind of operates, especially with these going against these weak ass teams. Because sometimes we play down to the competition. Now, Arthur Smith, like I said, if he brings that mentality stuff, they probably won't be doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So we gotta look at it from that from that aspect. Like I said, I'll say about 7 wins at least.
At least.
Remember, it ain't 16 games no more. It's 17 games.
17, yeah. Yeah.
And I saw Santana asked about how we felt about March Madness so far. Hey, I'm going to tell you, this year's March Madness shows you that the teams that actually has players that's willing to stay are the ones that's winning.
Yep. Chemistry. That's all about chemistry.
Exactly. Like you said, the one that
They just hating on the boy. They gotta be hating on the G, hating on the G. See, March Madness, see the NCAA with that bullcrap already. They don't want the man to be. They don't want your boy to be great. How they gonna do? How they gonna
just cut him off?
NCAA already hating on the G. Come on, bro.
My bad. Whatchamacallit, former friend called me talking about y'all need to stop.
Former friend did that?
Yeah, former friend did that one. I'm put the blame on him on that one.
Oh man, former friend.
He's like the way I call him former friend. So, but back when I was about to preach, like I said, March Madness showed you that teams that have juniors and seniors, especially when you have time off like they did, because remember, they didn't have a March Madness tournament last year.
Mm-hmm.
And then they played limited games this year. So that junior, senior type chemistry is overtaking these one-and-done schools.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, Georgia Tech lost to Loyola of Chicago, but we forget Loyola Chicago was in the final 8 the last tournament. So everything happens.
Somebody said the Falcons used my stimulus check to sign Mike Davis.
Leave Mike. Leave that man alone. Leave him alone.
Just trust the process, people. You know, we're gonna be signing these little 1 year, 2 years, little small things, because that's all we can do right about now. But on that note, people, let's go ahead and wrap it on up. Look, This man is still trying to give us his language, and we just don't understand it.
Man, you gotta spell FYCVHB. Is that even a word, bro?
He said Google it. I saw English when he said Google it.
Oh, he was no. He said earlier he's actually typing in lyrics to a Japanese song. Oh, it's one of them J-pop songs or something. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I recognize a couple of them words like Nagusame, Kara, Kakaki, Wo, Koreata.
Stop.
I can't do.
Stop. I don't know what you just said.
I don't know either. That sounds so wrong already. Google Translate. Hold on, I might Google Translate this while y'all talk, making sure.
No, we're not doing that. We gotta end
it. please. But let's go ahead and get to this 2 points. Get up out of here because we have a full week plus an additional show. Like we really are locked in with special guests this week, as well as an upcoming one. I don't know if you want to announce that one yet, so you confirm it. But we got some heavy hitters. Got some heavy hitters coming up. So, Tori, I'm gonna butcher her name, but McHaney from The Athletic. She will be here on Thursday at 7 p.m. With us. I will be interviewing her for Women's History Month or whatever you want to call it. So just highlighting because we haven't had a lady on the show as of yet to talk about these Falcons, but she is former. She's a Georgia Tech writer. K Styles. She's former MLB for the Braves, as well as she also did UGA as well. The Nation, the Dog Nation. So she's now with The Athletic. She is covering the Atlanta Falcons full time now. So she's going to come on and give her opinions about what she think about, Terry's moves and everything. Of course, we can't get enough about talking about the draft and what's going on with the Falcons. So she'll be here Thursday, as well as Mike. We have Aaron Freeman. Yes, it's a long time coming. Everybody been wanting this to happen. So Aaron Freeman will be here Friday. I don't know what time yet.
Falcons Prophet will bless AFN.
Yes. And what's the topic on lunch tomorrow? We are talking about this. What is this man's name? Derek. Is his name Derek?
Oh, dog, my Derek Jackson and that whole thing.
Oh my God. We are getting into that topic about people that ain't living the life that they preach.
Hey,
you are some. I'm gonna keep it brief, people. But Lunch Exchange tomorrow at 8 p.m. Type in Lunch Exchange, or you'll see it broadcast on Matt Mike's network too. But we're getting in on this because this man been preaching. He supposed to been this guru for the women, how to be a perfect man and everything, and he is cheating. His whole wife came on the show with a bonnet on and everything. And, we're going to get into that. This is football. But
I'm about to say, this one of them shows that I might need to be on at the beginning.
You probably going to end up, you're going to probably, because we going in on this topic. I'm telling you. Yeah. Yes, we are talking about all of that. We're talking about Steve Harvey, everybody that put on that facade about how women and men should act and how this. We're getting into those topics tomorrow. So that's tomorrow at 8 p.m. On Lunch Exchange and Matt Mike Sports. And then last but not least, I don't know if you want to announce Monday, but we can wait on that, I guess, until you
we wait on that.
Okay. So we have a special guest coming up soon. What's up, K Styles? Backsliding. That's right, Jew Talk.
Hey, I was about to say, I found out where he did what he's talking about. The dude with the unnecessary letters in his name. It is actually a song. So I just typed in some cup letters. So it's actual song.
I just got the confirmation. All Miss Megan has to do right now is hit his email up. So
God damn it, my little sign in the back went down. I don't got excited about this. Technical difficulties, people.
What is going on? What is going on today?
It's going.
I don't know. Everything breaking up. We broke. Yeah, we broke.
It's going down in the DM.
Look, man, this is why we need the super chats. We need help. We broke around this mug, man. Please help us out.
I'm hoping my ass ain't. Hold on, let me hide myself. I don't need my ass.
Now they're gonna super chat her because she got her. Damn, that's all in the damn camera shit. I'm
gonna say this. I'll say this. Let's say this. All right, I'll kind of break the news right here. All right, so you
please break the news. I'm excited. I'm excited about this one.
We have. go. Oh man, hey man, look. We have a member of the '98 Super Bowl team, the legend, one of the greatest wide receivers in Falcons history.
Y'all nothing see my ass or nothing today. No, this ain't that type of show, people.
Hey man,
she do it for Luscious Exchange, so it's not for this show. So you tune in tomorrow. You need to do it.
That's all you getting.
And you got that.
Oh yeah, I got that UGA. Anyway, go ahead and announce the.
Man, we got the legend, man. We got the legend himself, man. One of the greatest wide receivers in the history of the Falcons organization. We got Terrence Mathis coming on Monday, kicking it with K Styles. So, man, I can't wait for that one. So, Terrence Mathis, we got the great Terrence Mathis coming on the show Monday. Come kick it with K Styles and Terrence Mathis, man. So check us out.
Yes. So come with your questions, people. Be ready because he's ready. He's excited. Mm-hmm. We need that. Yes. Need what? What you talking about?
they talking about your ass. That's what they talking about.
Oh my goodness. Hey man, what in the world? What the heck is going on here?
They don't got excited. I got excited. My shit falling down. I'm shaking on the camera. What is going on?
Hey,
but yes, he is coming, people. So y'all be ready for it. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. We got Terrence Mathis, man. He gonna bless us with his presence, man. The GOAT himself, the Atlanta Falcons, the legend, the GOAT. The GOAT.
And we are definitely working on grabbing some more. Like we really been in everybody's DMs since this is off season. It's like y'all ain't got nothing else to do.
Hey.
I actually talked to Mad Mike. I said I want Chuck Smith back, to be honest.
Okay. Oh, yeah, man. Look, man. We gonna get Chuck back on him, man. We gotta get
Triple G already talked about starting.
We trying. Trust me, we trying to do that too.
Hey, look. If that is a possibility, it's gonna be a war in the chat. If that's a possibility,
what's that?
If we can get Matt Ryan on the show.
Oh boy,
Matt Ryan ain't. But we ain't got Matt Ryan money.
Exactly.
He
don't want no Popeyes chicken boxes.
We got Ryan Leaf money. We ain't got Matt Ryan money. We got Ryan Matthews money, not Matt Ryan.
Lord. But yes, y'all tune in to that. So he confirmed. I'm excited.
What you got? What's your 2-point conversion, Kick Styles?
No, we haven't talked about Kevin Samuels either. Let me write that down. Kevin Samuels.
Oh, Kevin Samuels been in the news a lot lately. These women going at him. Okay, my 2-point conversion is this is gonna go to the NBA trade deadline. And this is going to the Boston Celtics. I might do a little cursing here. What in the flying fuck? Y'all talking about John Collins?
Yeah.
And we want Joe Brown. But they said they wanted Trae Young, Kevin Huerter, DeAndre Hunter, and fucking Boban Bogdanovic, and Jalen and John Collins for Jaylen Brown. What? They want our players when we winning, but they damn sure didn't want us when we was losing.
That's what I'm saying. Speaking of losing, I'm so man. But hey, we got a tough road game ahead.
Man,
so.
we got the West Coast road trip, but that's gonna be a 500 road trip. That's a 500 road trip right there. It always is for the Hawks. It's always is. Yeah. I ain't expected no 5-1 road trip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like Ted before the guy said, the Celtics done lost their damn mind. They think they're gonna get John Collins, Trae Young, DeAndre Hunter, Kevin Huerter for Jaylen Brown.
I lost your goddamn mind.
They done went and dug up where they done dug
what
up.
What about LeVar? Huh? You heard about that?
Well, talking about Lonzo. Oh, they're talking about they want Cam Reddish for Lonzo. See, I haven't given up on Cam. I'm not giving up. A lot of people have given up on Cam, but I haven't gave up on Cam.
Mm-hmm.
See, but the only issue is with that. See, now you're taking minutes away from Huerter and Hunter with that move. Because let's be real, Lonzo is a point guard, but he's really a 2. He's really with his size, he is a 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, like I said, but it doesn't surprise me with that because the way that DeAndre Hunter is playing, and then like I said, you got Gallinari playing well now, you got Bogdanovich playing well. My MVP of this team right now, Nathan Knight, is playing well right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is going out to Lloyd Pierce, you stupid motherfucker. This is why you got fired. Because you didn't play this guy. If he wasn't going to play with, at least let him play himself out of minutes. Don't have him have one good game and then just sit the rest out. This is why Nate McMillan's been successful. He's playing guys that are hot. He's playing guys that fit the rotation. Mm-hmm. Sure, they lost the last game, but you're going against a top Western Conference team.
Right, that's a big team.
So, like I said, I'm not even gonna fault it for that. But Jaylen Brown, no. Lonzo Ball, no.
I don't know why I said LeVar. Lonzo.
Well, technically it would be LeVar Ball because he's gonna be talking a whole lot of shit. But here's the thing about LeVar Ball. That, like I said, and I support LeVar. Like I said, I'm down with LeVar Ball because the thing that he did was he was a father that was in his son's life, had confidence in him to be in the NBA, and
you know what? I know why he's in my head. Isn't he training to fight or something? Yeah, I heard about that.
What, one of them celebrity fights or something?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. That's part why he's in my head.
Lord,
yeah.
So, like I said, this team is cool right now. You don't need to trade nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do it now. But like I said, my two point conversion basically gonna be like I said, we appreciate everybody tuning in on the show. Like I said, you follow the Just K Styles channel. Like I said, I am now 782 away from 1,000. So we doing it one day at a time, and I appreciate everybody. Like I said, I appreciate AFN, the whole fam, everybody in the chat for messing with me. But no to Jaylen Brown.
You just had to say that.
And I agree with you right there. Our team is getting healthy, and we actually still haven't had everybody at their full potential yet. We got Chris. I think Chris, they've been talking about he might be coming back soon. And we ain't even seen what he can do.
See, the thing is, I could kind of see Chris Dunn kind of getting traded because we ain't played him all year. And it's going to be kind of hard to get.
Yeah, it's going to get hard.
Because even Tony Snell in the start lineup has been working well for him.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, that's going to be something happening. It's going to be something happen. We just don't. I doubt it. Really.
We did the number one move when we got rid of Lloyd Pierce. That was the best move they made all season.
Absolutely.
I got in text DMs. He didn't answer back.
Tag ain't coming on this show. He probably
ain't coming on here.
Hell no. Hell no.
Bitching and crying because I call his ass out. He would not want to be on his show.
Can we get John Harris in here with a Matt Ryan film breakdown?
Who the hell is John Harris?
Who's John Harris? You gotta let us know who that is.
We ain't talking about your cousin who got a YouTube channel. I don't know who the hell that is.
See, this is exactly why we won't get Tack on there. Devon said, if we get Tack, we roasting his ass. and this will be him and Reggie will be the main one leading the charge. With me and Mike. me, Mike, Devon, and damn fucking Reggie gonna goddamn kill this dude on.
Yeah, Tony Snell is a big shocker, and he's not missing. And this man is.
See, he playing his role. He's a 3-and-D guy. That's his role.
Absolutely.
He's putting most of his focus on the defense, and that's the one.
Oh, somebody from the Facebook group. Like, look, we got over almost 20K. We have 20K people in that group, so it's hard to keep up with everybody's name. Unless you waving yourself, hey, it's me, John. Like, look, we apologize. We got a lot of y'all in our group. A lot of y'all on YouTube. Like, we can't keep up with everything. We really can't. So, hit us up. You can message me if he's somebody that want to jump on. He is more than welcome. And I appreciate somebody giving me a little subscribe. Look at me getting some subscribers in here. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to go ahead and just plug myself on in since we, Miss Maggie T. That's my 2 point. Just keep me to 400. I'm really just trying to do my thing in this YouTube thing. It's new to me. And I appreciate y'all just taking the time out to listen to my news and updates with the Falcons, Braves, Hawks, Atlanta United. I might, I ain't gonna lie. I don't follow them that much, so probably won't be too much of that. Maybe some breaking news stuff for that, but
that'll probably be more for me.
Maybe some UGA stuff. I'm just letting y'all know about the UGA, so go ahead and plug that in, K Styles. But that's all I got. Tune in to my show. Yeah. So tune in to my show tomorrow. Let's Exchange at 8. And that's all I got. I want to hold y'all time up a little bit longer. So that's it for me, people. Appreciate y'all.
Hell, I couldn't do no tech video this year because after week 6, we got hit with all.
Y'all was damn suspended. Opting out.
We had to deal with the COVID situation from the other team. So we lost we ended up not playing like 4 or 5 games because of that. They just said, fuck it, we just gonna end the season.
I'm gonna go hit up Vic Beasley. Like, what's up, Vic? You want to?
Oh, hey, go ahead, hit everybody if you can. So you can hit the damn Atlanta Falcon water boy for all I care.
What you got, Mike?
Hey, I ain't got much. They need to get the hell up out of here. That's what they need to do.
Damn. What? Damn. Just
hey, man, I'm just bullshitting. Damn. All right, look, just please. All right, we appreciate everybody for continuously supporting us, man. Like I said before, while we got guys like Matt Karoly that come on the show, and I know, a lot of people, of course, a lot of people that don't really care. Girl, would you stop damn twerking? All this damn twerking you doing? What is up with you?
I'm laughing at the comments. All right, stop paying attention to me. Can I be in a good mood, people?
Up there twerking. That's why they going crazy in the damn chat. They going crazy up there twerking.
You know what, Mike? Stop watching me. How about that? Keep your eyes to self, sir.
Go ahead and hit that subscribe button at Letter Falcons Nation. All right, we try.
Make sure y'all hit this one right quick.
See, damn troublemaker. You see what I'm talking about?
Anime now. We done talked about this already.
See, look, already.
I'm trying to get some subscribers. Subscribe to Miss Maggie T's channel. Let me put my link in the chat.
We'll put your Cash App on there. They gonna Cash App your ass some shit.
Oh, you know what? My Cash App, I should put in there. Put me some donations.
Man, throw a dub out there, man. Throw her dub.
Throw a dub on that one.
Miss Maggie T. All right, hit on Cash App. Miss Maggie T. Throw a dub.
Miss Maggie.
I changed
Hey,
it.
Maggie. But the thing is, if they do that, you gotta hit them with the phone sex operator voice.
Oh, no, you gotta go. No, you gotta go to Lust Exchange to get that.
Yeah, you gonna get that on Lust Exchange.
Hey, look, Myra Jackson, man, we appreciate you, man. They said he said he don't even watch ESPN no more.
Appreciate you.
We definitely appreciate it. Yeah.
Y'all acting crazy tonight. But let's go ahead and end it out. Get Miss Maggie a lunch. I'm just playing, y'all. Appreciate y'all for real. But no, seriously, this donations goes to whatever y'all donate to the channel. Whoever's Cash App, whoever, it's going towards just making us who we are today, so we can invite Matt Ryan to the show, because he don't want no broke show. He won't, a luxury show.
Throw him a little something. We got to give him $100 or something. All right. $100 or something.
He want Papa Do's and Ruth Chris. We ain't got that.
We'll meet him at Papa Do's and sit down and have a live show with Matt Ryan at Papa Do's.
Exactly.
But yeah, seriously, yeah. Every donation, we joking. I put my Cash App in there, but we're just joking. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want to donate, please, it's great, but it's definitely going to a great cause, because it's like we got a lot coming for the new season. We're trying to do giveaways. There's a lot that Atlanta Falcons Nation is trying to do in this new season, because you guys have been wonderful, and we're about to be at 1,000, so we can go ahead and get monetized and stuff, so we could be making some money.
Absolutely.
We appreciate y'all. All right, but let's go ahead and end it.
Even with
go ahead and drop that stimmy, Grizzy. Go ahead and drop that stimmy.
Even with that, all right. The donations that you guys anything that you donate to the channel will go back into. This is why we had a Mad Mike membership, and we're soon to have the AFN membership. It goes into. All right, we're gonna have a lot of giveaways. So everybody who's a member of the channel, man, we're gonna have some things coming, and we're gonna give away some gift cards. We're gonna give away a lot of stuff. So trust me, everything is gonna go back into giving back to all of you guys. All right.
How about this? This is a good idea that I think because he got his 1,000th follower. Whoever's that 1,000th follower will probably be the first person to get the first prize. I think. Who gets Atlanta Falcons Nation to that 1,000? So you got to screenshot it. If you clicking on it and you get us there, you got to screenshot and let us know, because we're going to have something special for you, okay? So go ahead and hit that subscribe on Atlanta Falcons Nation. If you're watching on Matt Mike Sports, just go on over there and find us. We appreciate you guys, but we're going to go ahead and rise up out of here.
Okay, stop.
You ain't got to go home,
but you got to get the hell out of here.
Appreciate y'all. Peace.